Welcome to the Joe Monroe Show. Now, here's your host, Joe Monroe.
Hello, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Joe Monroe Show. It is I, Joe Monroe, and today we have a very special episode. We don't have one, not two, but three special guests for the Podcasters Appreciation Month. But before we get into our special guests tonight, let me shout out some sponsors real quick. First and foremost, we want to thank Phenomenal Finds ATL. If you're looking for anything retro, whether it be pro wrestling, the Rugrats, or even Power Rangers, apparently he's got those now. Check out phenomenalfindsatl.com. Also, we want to thank our partners and sponsors, Triple Crown Wrestling and Ultimate Championship Wrestling, as they are bringing back professional wrestling as it should be to the great state of Kentucky, as well as Les Murphy Painting. If you have anything issue-wise with painting, whether it be inside or outside, check out Les Murphy Painting and contact them at 734-334-3702. And, well, you know, why not? Cuckoo Cuckoo, there he is, Wilson Morris. All right. So today, apparently it's a little bit of a hostile takeover, and thanks to James Mathenley, or James Kendrick, as you guys know, he recommended these guys, and he said if I don't bring these guys on, he will. I can't really say legally what he would do to me. So with that, without further ado, let me bring out the leader, none other than Mr. Magnificent himself, Mike Martin. Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you? I don't know if I call myself the leader. I am one of the founding fathers, and I am the oldest in the group. So I guess that does establish some seniority. But you know, I would never call myself a leader. But I'm definitely not a follower either.
Well, you do give that lovely intro, which is what I wanted to ask you. Would you like to introduce your co-host? Because you do it a lot better than what I can do. I can't do it justice. Go ahead.
I am the pretty face Padre, the handsome head of household. I am the one that my sweet wife calls babe. I am Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. Ta-da! And with me, as always, the rest of this patriarch pack. We got the big bad bearded daddy. He is Big Rig Eric Maffey.
There it is. What up? What up?
Hey, Big Greg, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, we're doing great, man. We're doing great.
Wait a minute, hang on. Aren't we missing somebody?
Yep.
We're missing.
He is the perpetual mid-carder and the two-time world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Cephas.
There he is.
Don't let Mike fool you. He's totally our leader.
He is.
Well, gentlemen, Mike, thank you for that. I cannot have done that justice. I've been watching a couple of your episodes today too, and I was like, I can't do that. I'm just going to let Mr. Magnificent do it because you are magnificent at it. No pun intended. But gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Again, as I said before, James Mathenley, or James Kendrick, as we know him here, recommending you all and tell me, hey, you need to reach out to these guys or else I'm going to beat the crap out of you. I said, okay, take it easy. I'll reach out to them and see if they want to come on. But I appreciate you gentlemen coming on. So first and foremost, what in the world made you guys fall in love with this crazy sport as we know as professional wrestling?
Oh, wow.
Well, honestly, it was just a part of as a kid growing up in the 80s. It was kind of a part of my Saturday morning regimen. It went, cartoons, Dukes of Hazzard, wrestling. And it kind of just grew up with wrestling, and wrestling kind of grew up with me too, because as a teenager, it was the Attitude Era for me. So it kind of just, all the stages of wrestling kind of like went along with where I was in my adolescence and whatnot. So, I just been a lifelong fan. My first memory, we always kind of talk about what our first person or people that moment that got you into wrestling. And it was the Rockers for me. I loved the high flying and the bright colors, and they were just two cool dudes, man.
Oh yeah.
We just met one half of them.
We did. Yeah.
Was it Marty?
We met the Marty Jannetty of the Rockers.
Oh no. How was that?
He was walking around.
He was a good guy.
He looked good.
Really?
Yeah.
He's doing better.
Yeah,
he looked much better.
he was getting around like somebody who had a normal foot.
Yeah.
And
Okay, good.
He definitely does not have a normal foot, poor guy.
Oh, and it looks like we got some dWo fans already in the house. Ryan Mosley.
Oh,
Yo.
yeah.
Hey,
man.
Ryan, how we doing? We just recently had him on the other day, and my good friend Party Man Cam. We're
yeah.
kind of cooking up something, but he's a weirdo. We'll just say that he's a weirdo.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Is that the new Yeet?
All right, wrestling
Yeet.
T-shirt guy, 2-time Guinness World Record holder, sir. What got you loving this crazy sport of professional wrestling?
Man, story is my memories was
See if you're real
wrestling.
choppy, bud.
Yeah, you're chopping up just a
I'm sorry.
Just go back to him. Just go to Big Rig.
Yeah, Big Rig. We'll come back to you.
1/3 of the DWO. I probably should have done that. How he did the little 1/3 of the DWO, but everybody knows that. Come on now. So in terms of what got me into wrestling, you know, growing up, I'm a 90s kid. Ultimately, I was born in '89, and you know, grew up in the Attitude Era, and you know, it was a popular thing for, you know, being a young man in the 90s, and you know, Stone Cold was gaining popularity right around the time I was the age where I could really start watching it. And we talk about it all the time. Our core moment that was like, I freaking love this shit. You know what I mean? And for me, it was Mankind and Undertaker, King of the Ring, and him tossing. I mean, you see the man right here. That's my guy. You know what I mean? Like, I love Mick Foley with all my heart and soul. Watching him get thrown off the top of that cage and come back was just the most unbelievable thing ever to me. And, you know, not just Mick, but Undertaker and, you know, Jim Ross on the call, you know, that, my God is my witness. He's broken in half. Like, just all of it. And from then on, I've just been in love with it. And I fell off for a little bit. I would say like late 2000s, early 2010s, I kind of wasn't watching that much anymore, which I think a lot of people have that same story because, you know, let's be honest, the product got kind of stale in a lot of people's eyes. And I would say about 3-4 years ago, I started getting back into it when AEW came around, and I had a friend that was like, hey man, check this out. And I've through AEW, I learned about how awesome the indie scene was. And man, you want to talk about falling in love all over again, man. You start going to indie shows and finding promotions you really like. You know, yeah, the on TV stuff's great, but there is nothing like a kick-ass indie show to me.
No, I agree with you. And since you're showing off your Mick Foley thing, I'll go ahead and show mine off right here.
Yeah, there we go.
He signed it Cactus Jack because I got the his Pro Wrestling Tees King of the Deathmatch shirt. And he see me and he said, yep, I'm signing it Cactus. He goes, you have no other choice. I was like, okay.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as
Chris,
you can see, I am a fan of the, you know, not stereo. This is my Eddie Kingston shirt. I love Eddie so much. I like the guys that make, you know, don't necessarily look like, you know, the Lex Lugers and the, you know, all the big muscular guy. I want a guy that's like, hey, that guy kind of looks like me, and he's going out there and winning titles. You know what I mean? I love it. So
we got a great moment on camera. Like our first AEW show we went to live, and we were on floor seats. We had pretty decent seats, and Eddie Kingston's music hit, and Eric, dude, he turned into an 8-year-old boy all over again. It was
which event did you guys go to?
It was one of the Cincinnati shows. Well, it was actually we've gone both times they came to Cincinnati. So
it was the one where Mox knocked out Hangman.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
okay.
the Title Tuesday one. Yeah.
Well,
we got pretty good seats for that. We were like 4 or 5 rows back, hard cam side. So yeah, that was pretty. But yeah, Eddie's music hit, and Mike's got a video. He does those machine gun chops in the corner. I'm sitting there doing them with him in the air, and you know, I'm 34 years old, but god damn it, you know, I love it.
Yeah, and I also see you got a Dim Boys flag back there.
Absolutely.
I was like,
absolutely.
Man, the Briscoes.
I mean, my dog's name is Briscoe, dude. Like,
I think Cephas is still having a little bit of technical
Yeah,
difficulty.
he said his whole ass house is out of interwebs.
Yeah,
I quote.
his whole internet is down. So we'll try getting back.
Yeah, we'll try, folks. We'll try to get him back on here in a little bit. But what made you guys want to start the dWo podcast? What was
did.
We've earned it.
No, we never did. We never wanted this.
I don't think we realized what we were getting into when we started it. Because it started with a group chat, you know. I mean, am I right on that, Mike? You know, it was just it actually started with me, Mike, and our other friend Brandon is how it started. And he ended up getting a different job and just wasn't able to do it anymore. And we met, well, I met Cephas at a Danhausen meet and greet.
Because
he was, well, because I was late to the meet and greet, and he was in the back of the line because he was doing his world record with he does a t-shirt video every day.
Right.
He's gone the most consecutive days wearing a different pro wrestling t-shirt. And Danhausen said, I'll do your video with you if you go all the way to the back of the line and let everybody go first. And he said, all right, deal. So I get there, I'm last in line, and he's like, oh man, you can go in front of me. And I'm like, okay, you know, like I don't know him at all. And he starts telling me about his gimmick, and he's like, hey, I'm a world record holder, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. Like, you know, because you've been to wrestling shows, man. You meet people that's just like, okay, you're so full of shit, I can't see straight, you know? So
Right.
I'm just like, all right, whatever, guy. But it was a long line. So we're sitting there talking. And finally I text Mike. I was like, hey, man, I found a potential pretty cool guest to have on the show. This guy's got a world record. And we had him on the show. And then, what was it? Like he filled in for me one night, and then we had him on another night. And then we were just going to do him on Thursdays. And then it just turned into he was there all the time. So
I would say
we jumped him in.
It's one of those things you let in a stray, and he just never left.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we're happy to have him, though.
Yeah.
We love that dude.
Everything about the show happened very organically, though. I mean, like Eric said, it was, you know, it was something, you know, kind of when AEW came out, we all got excited about wrestling again. It started, you know, giving us a reason to watch again, something different. And we started talking about it at work, became a group message. And it's like, hey, I honestly, the podcasting, because our old third, Brandon, was doing a podcast about replica wrestling belts. Yes. And they were kind of having a fun time doing that. And so it kind of just
we were just like, I mean, what the heck? Why not? We, you know, because I mean, we would watch the shows, and the day after Dynamite or SmackDown or Raw, we would just be, I mean, constantly talking about what we liked, what we didn't like and stuff. And we were like, why don't we just do this on camera? You know what I mean? Like, what the heck? And I mean, you go back to our first episode, dude, it was rough. Mike was on a laptop from like 1972. I was doing it on my iPad.
It was running Windows. It wasn't even Windows
yet.
It
was just Windows.
Oh God.
It was. We've upgraded since then. Me and Mike got MacBook Airs, and you know we got the whole setup now. Mike got a soundboard. Yeah, see, we can do this.
I got a Windows. I can't do that fancy stuff.
But yeah, man, it was a very, like Mike said, it was a very organic thing, and I think that's what's made it so fun. I mean, it's definitely a grind. I mean, you know, reaching out to guests, and I mean, Mike makes all our I'm back and forth. Mike makes all our thumbnails and graphics, you know, for all our stuff. And I mean, we all have access to all the socials and stuff, but we kind of all have our specialties, you know, like Mike's a lot better at Twitter. I have no idea how Twitter works. I'm a lot better at Instagram. I've been doing that since the show started, and, you know, whatever. But it is a lot of work, you know, for something that we are making, if anything, negative money at. So, I mean, it says it right in our intro. Though. What's that?
But we got a lot of merch for sale.
We do, yeah.
We've
Plug it.
invested in
T Public.
we've
Cheap
invested
plug.
in ourselves.
No, go ahead and plug that right now if you guys want to. Plug it in.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees, T Public. We're on both of those, and we have merch on hand too. So if you DM us, we can always ship it to you. We got a PayPal for the podcast and everything. But yeah, it's definitely a grind. I mean, especially like you think about it, and you're like, oh, the podcast world is so, saturated. I guess, there's already so many podcasts out there, and you're like, well, mine's a wrestling podcast. Well, once you start your own wrestling podcast and you get on all the socials, you realize how many other wrestling podcasts are out there. And then you're like, okay, how do I make myself unique? And I feel like we've really been able to do that.
No, I know that issue. Like, this was something I did after I stopped doing like in-ring competition from wrestling. And I'm like, okay, let's just do this show. I think I did like history of Roddy Piper at first, and I was like, let's just see where it goes. Then it just kind of took off from there after the promotions I worked for. They're like, hey, would you like to do on-site interviews and also do recaps, then do your stuff? Okay, cool. I'm just like, what's the worst that it can do? Not do good and me stop? I mean, so I think we got him back.
We got him back.
He's back.
He's back.
Go ahead. God. Go ahead, Mike.
You want his intro again?
There we go. Am I alive?
Would you like?
You're alive.
Cephas, would you like your intro back, sir?
No, I'm good. I heard the intro. I think I'm on my phone at this point. My whole entire internet went down on the entire house. Kids complaining about the video games. The wife's show stopped. My computer's fucked. So we're on phone data right now. So, but
what? Thank God for StreamYard being on. That's the Russians.
Threw me off.
It's conspiracy, I'll tell you.
That happened one time before, and I don't know what happened before, but it threw us all the way off alive and everything, like the entire.
Yeah.
Wow.
It ended our show for us.
Yeah.
15 minutes in, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Guess we're done.
So these gentlemen have already said how they got into this crazy sport of professional wrestling. You were saying it, then you cut out. So
yeah, man.
If you want to go ahead and retell everybody that story real quick, you can, brother.
For me, it was just always there, man. I don't know if there was necessarily an origin story, but I definitely know that what pulled me in to make it my thing was Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, the whole birth of him from WrestleMania 13 to being able to see WrestleMania 14 live as a kid, wrestling was like in my veins at that point. So.
And what day are you on right now on your wrestling t-shirt?
839.
Okay, I know it was over 800. I was like, geez, how many shirts do you got, man?
So I went 425 days without a repeat. Okay. And then after that, I started doing repeats, but I still started collecting. I still collected shirts. Right now, I'm sitting over 650.
Jesus, my wife would kill me. Mike D says, what's good, fellas? I'm watching. Mike, why are you watching and driving at the same time, bro? Be careful, please.
Just listen.
But thank you for watching.
Okay. Speaking of that, he said his wife would kill him. See, if you got to tell him the story of us at Squared Circle Expo and you going to the Pro Wrestling Tees booth.
Yeah, see, I told my wife I wouldn't go too crazy. I was only going to get a couple of shirts. Probably just new shirts to people I did videos with. But then Cole Cabana was like, hey, man, you want to sell some of your brawlers? And I was like, sure. And I ended up going to his table with some of the brawlers, and I noticed his shirts were 3 for $20. And then I just got this idea. I was like, well, I don't really want all these brawlers. Why don't I just trade every one of these to Cole Cabana for some shirts? And for it was like 40 brawlers. I traded. It was like 30 brawlers, but I traded 30 brawlers for a total of 42 shirts from him, a signed brawler from him, and he followed the show and me on Twitter. I was like, deal. I'll take that.
My
your wife's
favorite was him texting his wife saying, "I just bought 42 shirts," and her response just was like,
What?
40. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
I'm trying to talk. She's got the walk-in closet in the house, but she don't
Mhm.
need that. I've been trying to talk her into it. She ain't having it. So I think at this point, I'm just going to build a makeshift closet in the garage because I'd really like to hang them all and alphabetize them. Because what really gets me at this point, for example, a few weeks ago, they had a convention in my town called Horror Hound, and Mick Foley was there. And I was like, oh, I need to rush to find my Mick Foley shirt. And I couldn't find 650 shirts. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're at the bottom of stacks and shit like that. So it's an issue.
Yeah, dude, I have
So
like a fraction of that. I couldn't find this shirt tonight.
"Yeah,
Can imagine.
I couldn't find mine either. That's why I'm wearing this. I was going to wear the dWo shirt, and I'm like, I have no idea where it is."
So Chris Zach asked, "What's your favorite wrestling T-shirt?" Chris, I don't think he can narrow that down, brother. Unless you know.
Well, you'd be surprised. There's three that stand out, like that come to my mind whenever I get asked this question, and I'll rank them in lowest to highest. Lowest has got to be I'm your Poppy. That was one of my favorite Eddie Guerrero shirts. Is one of the first shirts I bought with my own money as a younger wrestling fan. And then one is actually a guest that is going to be on our show on April 30th. And it's just because of how unique it is. And that's the Eugene shirt because it was printed inside out and backwards. So the tag is actually in the front and facing out, and you're supposed to wear it that way. And I just thought it was unique. And then number one, easy, is the Austin 316.
Now, did you see the new Bray Wyatt shirts they came out with?
Absolutely.
The legacy shirt.
I've got quite a few Bray Wyatt shirts. He was at my current favorite. Actually, I changed where everything hangs, but he's hanging above me right now. I got his mask and a bunch of his figures and stuff. But he's one of my big time favorites.
All right. So Big Rig told us the story about you all meeting at a Danhausen meet and greet. Was that in Kentucky?
No, that was in Fairfield.
That was very close to him and very far away from me.
Yeah.
Because I think, as I can tell, you're probably from Kentucky, given the dWo Kentucky logo up top.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was born and raised in Ohio, but I moved here 2014, and I've made it my home ever since. I mean, I got Kentucky tattooed on my arm, so I don't think I'm going back.
Good man.
Yeah,
that's a smart decision.
But also, I do have to say, UK sucks. So I'm sorry to say it, but I have to.
Wow.
I'm sure there's a lot of people on here that won't like that, but
my family may disown me when I say this, but I'm a Tennessee fan.
No, there you go.
Who would volunteer to be
He's not a Duke fan.
No, I'm North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was a Michael Jordan fan my whole life growing up, and UC basketball was UC basketball growing up, and it was, Bob Huggins was in a DUI every other week, and I was like, I didn't really have a team, and I was like, well, where'd Michael Jordan go to college? North Carolina? That's my team.
I like the logic.
So you all have had a lot of guests on. I went back to see who all you had on. This guy keeps getting brought up on my shows. The one called Manders. Almost every other podcast has a Manders story. It's like, there we go.
I got his hat on right now.
It's like with wrestlers with excuse me. It's like with wrestlers, they have a certain good old Southern boy, a lot of people may know, Tracy Smothers. Everybody around here has a Tracy Smothers story. And I feel like every podcaster has the one called Manders story. And I'm like, what the heck? Does this man go on every podcast?
He's such a good dude, man. Like we've met a lot of people, in the time that we've been doing this, and that guy is one of the absolute real, just real ones. He's always, anytime we've seen him, he's super nice to us. He, doesn't, because you talk to people and they kind of, they're polite, but you're also you're just one of the fans. No, he'll come up and like he remembers us and everything. So he's just I can't say enough good things about him.
He always treats us like one of the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. MLW Confusion, the head of that podcast, he said he kind of beats with them on Twitter a lot, and he said he treats them like he is. Great dude, love Manders, trained here in the QC. Yeah, that is right, Chris. That's right.
Yeah.
But aside from Manders, who would you all say, and you all can pick one individually, or you can guys group together and pick, is probably a guest that stands out the most than others? I know if you can pick more than one, you can. That way nobody's feelings gets hurt because somebody's feelings get hurt.
Can we give you a top 3?
Let's go top 3. Why not?
I already know 2 of my 3.
I
Actually,
an old one. It was Sinclair Octavius Bentley.
That was a fun one.
He spent an entire hour in character just roasting us.
Yeah,
this is actually this is BC dWo before Cephas.
Yeah, before Cephas.
So
yeah,
that was a
good old,
was just really fun, just different episode.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I totally forgot about that. That was a good one. He because that's the thing. A lot of our shows where we've had guests on, not very rarely have they been in character. You know, it's usually just them as a person, and that dude stayed in character the entire time, and it was hilarious. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that can riff and roast people? That one right there, Sinclair Octavius Bentley.
All right, there's one. Is that you guys' first one apiece?
Well, no, I have a personal top 3.
Go ahead.
Al Snow. That was one of the coolest experiences of my life. Just being able to be like, holy crap, this guy's on my show, you know, and it was a really great, it was right after Wrestlers came out on Netflix. And it was only a half hour, but it was fantastic. I loved it. And a guy we've actually had on twice, Gringo Loco. He's another one just like Manders, that dude. I mean, he even said it on our show. It's fun being on the dWo podcast because it's like you're hanging out in your living room with the boys talking wrestling. You know, it's just, and he's so much fun. So I love Gringo. And then the homie, Tusslemania, man, our Revolver Rewinds. I mean, he's not, I wouldn't even call him a guest at this point, but I think the first couple that we had him on, it was cool because he wasn't an in-ring talent. But man, the insights he gave in those first couple that we had him on was like, whoa, like this is really neat, you know, getting a different perspective of somebody that works the shows. So that's my top 3.
All right, Mr. Magnificent, you only got one. Are you just going to stick with the one, or do you got 2 more?
No. Damn it, I just hit it on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Matthew Raywalt. Because I'm an avid bourbon lover. And he is someone who is known to be, you know, like the finer spirits as well. So anyway, I set us all up a blind tasting, and it sent everybody 3 pours of bourbon, and we all sat and tasted. And as much whiskey as that man has had, you know, he's been all over the world and whatnot. And I was able to get 3 pours of whiskey he had never had before, and I hung my hat on that.
There you go.
And man, I was gonna say Tussle also. But I agree with you. It's like, God, he's kind of just like part
Palmer.
of, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Matthew Palmer has been an absolute hoot every time. You'll laugh. I've laughed till my jaws hurt.
Yeah. I actually watched one of those episodes, and I was laughing my butt off.
Dude, he's so funny. And you want to talk about a guy that's like very underrated with how his wrestling mind works, because he doesn't talk about it or flaunt it or anything, but you ask anybody that's around him, they're like, that dude is freaking brilliant. And I mean, you can see it, you know, you watch his matches and stuff, that dude, he's wonderful.
Cephas, top 3.
So top 3, man. Jake fucking Christ. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on the Joe Monroe show, but
Go for it.
Jake Christ. I'm a huge fan of him, so to do a show with him was pretty cool. There's definitely a lot too that are popping in my head, and I don't want to forget about anybody. But if I'm really thinking my top 3, it's got to be Ray Walt and Al Snow as well. But I really like having the more obscure guests on. We have a couple coming up here soon. I already mentioned Eugene, but we have the president of MegaCat Studios coming on in May, and they're the people that made the video game WrestleQuest. And if you haven't played it, it's one of the best wrestling video games in the past forever. It's an RPG about wrestling. And then, we've got Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force coming on next month as well. So our guest list is starting to really spread. And because of that, it's getting us more yeses when we ask. And that's, at this point, I'm going to start going through all the Mighty Ducks and the entire cast and be like, all right, just whatever I can to get people that I think are cool to come talk to us, whether it be about wrestling, being a dad, or just, I don't know, cheeseburgers, whatever.
Yeah.
We can always segue.
I can imagine Cephas when he gets to Emilio pulling a knot at the Rock's belly. Emilio!
Emilio!
You know who I think would be a great guest? Jimmy, the guy who played Jimmy King from Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, Oliver Platt.
Oh, look at you. Fucking wealth of knowledge there.
Dibs.
Ready to Rumble is top 10, one of my top 10 favorite movies. Come on.
Hey, I get it, man. I'm a fan of not so great movies too. One of my favorite films is if you've never seen it, you've never heard of it, it's a Roddy Piper film, and you've never heard of it because it is fucking terrible. When I met Piper, I brought it up, and he was like, bro, I got to tell you. He's like, no one ever wants to talk about that. They always want to talk about They Live and wrestling. He's like, no one wants to talk about my shitty movies. It's like, I love your shitty movies.
Which one was it?
It's Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Frogtown? I got it.
Yeah. It's outrageous.
No.
It's one of the... whenever I first started the show and started doing it on Piper, I was going to do an individual episode on Hell Comes to Frogtown. Then I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Probably not the best.
I'll come on and talk about it with you.
If you two haven't seen it, guys, it's out there. It's really out there. I think you made it after They Live, right? Or was it during?
I'm pretty sure it's a John Carpenter as well. It's a second John Carpenter film with him. But it's not good, bud.
It's not good.
It is not.
And the cool thing about Piper is he was like, I know. Like, he's like,
I get it. It's not great.
It's one of those movies. It's so bad you just can't help but keep watching.
Yeah, but I love
it. Is it like The Room level bad?
No, it's not that.
No.
Okay.
It almost has that feel though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a step above The Room.
Yeah.
Then
his name's Sam Hell. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Muscle-bound combination of wise guy, cool, and deadly force.
And there was a sequel. I don't know if you know about that. And Lou Ferrigno, who played the Incredible Hulk, ended up being the main character in that one.
Huh.
Sorry, I'm a wrestling and movie buff. Sorry.
It was so bad they made a second. I love it.
Hang on. Hulk Hogan movies was the worst. Just as worse. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Suburban Commando was all right.
What was what was the one with Zeus?
No Holds
Barred.
No Holds Barred. Yeah.
And then it even crossed over into actual in ring action. They brought in Tiny Lister. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Chris Zach brought something. Piper did a movie with Shane Douglas, Wrestlers versus Zombies. I think it also has Kurt Angle in it too. I think it's on Tubi.
Oh gosh.
What'd you say, Steve?
I think Matt Hardy's in it too, if I remember.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think you're right. Him and his wife both are in it. Rebby's in it too.
Yeah.
I think this is when they were like first got together.
Yeah, this was like
we may have
2012, maybe
something
I
like
don't know.
that. 2011, 2012, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around then.
Pro wrestlers versus
We may have to
zombie.
get. Yep, that's it.
Oh my god.
I think Jimmy Hart's it.
Bro, I can't believe
Go
you
ahead and read it.
It's
That's
also
so-
included with your subscription to Peacock.
Yes.
Oh, it's on Peacock now?
Yep.
No.
Oh god. I know what I'm watching tonight.
Oh, added to the
It's
list.
about to go 4 views after this show's over.
Record
We may
breaking.
need to get, you know what? We may need to get together and just watch these like world's worst wrestling movies or films that
down.
feature wrestlers in it. That would be cool.
Now, that'd be a
yeah.
fun
but-
watch along.
That would be. I want to see your guys' reaction to Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Oh, I need to find that wherever it is.
I'm looking to see where I can right now.
Chris Zach said yes, it is. It's a train wreck that's worth watching.
It's on AMC Plus. Everywhere else, you're gonna have to rent or buy it.
Daggone it.
Yeah, it's like it's like $4 to rent or $10 to buy. So I'll
Yeah,
probably
it's
rent it 'cause I'm a
cheap.
cheapskate.
Hey man, it's got a
It's
5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It's good enough for me, bud. I've watched.
Why? Because that's only retroactive reviews, bud. They didn't review shit like that back in '88.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be a 0.5.
It would be a
Just
point.
okay. Just don't watch it in front of the children. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, no, we're good on that.
Go.
We put the
Go
kids
ahead.
to bed.
Go ahead, guys.
Go
So,
ahead.
the Wrestling Revolver Rewind, that's
Mhm.
that's an ongoing thing that's going on in y'all's show. So, what started that?
We just love Revolver.
Yeah. Well, that started from Tussle, man. We had him on a couple times, and he is the resident. I mean, you see all the Revolver clips, man. They're all Tussle footage, and from what he told us, Sammy brought him in a couple times and was just like, dude, I have to have you at literally every show. And had Tussle on a couple times. And then there was one show that we were like, man, we really want to like do a review on this. And, I think it lined up to where we were going to have Tussle on anyway. And we were like, let's just, talk about the show. And it just evolved from that. And those are some of our favorite episodes, man. At least I know they are with me, especially now that Sammy Callahan hates my face and talks a lot of shit to me.
And
What'd you just say?
and Kevin Sullivan's been on our show
That's been pretty cool.
2 times.
Twice.
Nice.
Yeah, he's good friends with Tussle, and Tussle has him call in and just spews his brilliance, and we just sit there and listen. It's pretty awesome.
That's a man who should have. I know he had control or created was running WCW. I think it was '99, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And they should just let him keep it because it was starting to come back up. And then they're like, "Well, Kevin, we're going to move you, and we're going to put the bull crap." I always thought Kevin Sullivan would have been the savior of WCW if they just let him do his job, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of issues, and they had to bring in Vince Russo, bro.
Bro.
I swear, bro, I wasn't there, bro. It was Vince's idea, bro.
I'm telling you.
Bro.
Oh yeah, I'm
Um,
telling you.
But yeah, man, like Sifa said it best. We love Revolver. I was talking about earlier how, man, you find an indie promotion that you can really fall in love with, and those shows are the best shows on earth, and that's Revolver for us.
It feels exclusive. It feels like we're in a club. I almost feel like I see a bright future on the horizon for this company. And at some point, people are going to be like, man, them Dayton crowds back before we used to travel the world with fucking Revolver, we're going to be the ECW arena of Revolver. You know what I mean? And that's what I really love about it, because you talk about feeling like you're a part of it. Bro, I mean, like, for example, at the last Revolver show, as much as we go and as many signs as we make, Alex Shelley and Palmer, they decided to attack our boy Bobby. And when they they went to go get a chair. There's hundreds of chairs everywhere. And they went to our specific spot and stole Big Rig's chair to use to break Bob's ankle. And it's just like, oh, we're in that bit forever.
Yeah, and also they knew this is going to hurt worse for them because Bobby's our boy, man. You know, like we had to watch Bobby get Pillmanized with the chair it was still warm from my butt. Okay. Ridiculous.
It's like, you bastards. Did you guys yell that out?
Oh, we were, dude. I'm telling you right now, we had there was the one with Cardona. Did you watch that one? It was what the hell? What show was that? It was him and Jake. Was it Heat?
Ring of Destiny.
Ring of Destiny.
Yep.
No, he came after Ring of Destiny. He was at the one in August, right before SummerSlam.
That was Ring of Destiny.
No, that was in June.
Was Ring of Destiny June?
Ring of Destiny was June. August was Heat something.
Heat 'em up.
Heat 'em up. There we go. Thank you. It was at Heat 'em up, and it was Cardona versus Jake Chris, and Cardona jumped through the ropes and kicked Bobby to the outside, and we all jumped up like we were going to fight Matt Cardona.
It looks like Chris Zach just became y'all's new fan. So.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Awesome.
Glad to have you, bud.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know where my fuck Matt Cardona sign is.
Oh.
I'm here.
You know, in all honesty, I know people want to trash. You know, kayfabe wanted to trash the dude, but in all honesty, the guy's worked his butt off.
Oh, he's killing it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing too. We told him too before, because like we knew that there was a small chance that it was gonna be either well received or well hated, right? So we told the promoter, we told Sam, we told everybody, this is what we're gonna do. We made 38 signs, but we didn't tell Cardona until after. So we did the whole thing, and then he goes out after to do the signing after the show. And I was like, hey man, I hope I didn't piss you off. He's like, no, dude, that was fucking awesome. And he was signing. And it was just an awesome moment, man. He got to come out to a sea of a whole bunch of signs. And what gets me the most is if you go and look at his comments on Instagram when he posted that, saying that the Dayton fans were welcoming, there's a bunch of comments that said that he made them signs and planted them himself. Nuh-uh.
That was me. Well, because they were like, look, they're all the same font and they're all on cardboard. Yeah, because that guy made them.
I have photos to prove it.
So I got a Cardona story, and it kind of blew my mind. So do you know that it's a Lexington store? It's called Toy Vomit, but it's called Toy Headquarters.
Vomit. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know the episode where he bought those WWE ECW figures?
Yeah.
Those were mine.
Really?
And I got rid of them like a moron because I couldn't complete I'm like a completionist, and I couldn't find who was it? I couldn't find out that set. It was someone, and it was hard to find. I was like, well, I went up there one day. I know the owner who runs it, and I'm like, hey man, I'm trading these in. He looked at me and he goes, dude, you sure? Because I'm an ECW mark. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, okay. Then literally, like, I think it was like a month or two later, a buddy of mine who went with me, he goes, because I got them off him, he goes, bro, Cardona's got your figures. And I went to my collection. I'm like, wait, no, why am I going to my room? No, he don't have my figures. He goes, no, he's got the ECW figures. I said, bullshit. And he sent me the video. I was like, oh my God. And when he opened them, I was like, no, no. But I was like, damn you, Cardona. That was the only time I ever said that.
Did you briefly think for a second that Matt Cardona broke in your house and stole your wrestling figures out of your room?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. Listen, I got some good stuff here. All right, leave me alone. I was like, what? And I was like, wait, no, that don't make no sense. Hang on.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of fun moments with Cardona. We had the signs with him, and then at Squared Circle Expo, Cephas got to have another fun moment with him because of a certain tattoo that he got.
Have you
What
seen my
tattoo
tattoo?
I have not.
All right, here you go.
The reason we call him the perpetual mid-carder.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, for one, how many hours? And for two, what the hell?
Right now we're 6 hours in. We got another.
Bad.
We got at least another 6 hours in
I
because
need
it's going to be a strap as well.
Oh,
Look,
dude.
man, I'm the Intercontinental Champion. There's nothing I can.
He is the perpetual mid-carder, man.
And you got the Savage one with the red block logo. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, Savage Steamboat one, I should say.
It's got a Savage tattoo there.
Yeah, I got one recently. You guys probably seen it. I got a wrestling memorial tattoo. Well, you can't really see it.
Oh no! I bet you his phone died. Okay,
That's
Alright.
my
the turnbuckle.
That yeah, it's for my grandpa. My grandpa was a big wrestling fan. He's the one that got me into it. So I was like, yeah. Oh, he turned his phone. I think he's getting extreme close up here.
We
That
got
don't sound
tattoos
right.
last year.
Phone is overheating. I had to take the case off.
That's
Uh-oh.
cool.
Yeah, we all got the
That
dWo
is really cool.
logo. Cephas got it on his leg. You all right there,
Am I
Ceph?
back to normal now? My
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
to
you're
My
normal.
good.
phone
Ever
was
been.
overheating. God, dude, this is ridiculous. My internet is still out. I can't. Nothing's working.
Where do you live in Cincinnati or something?
Yeah, I
in
live
Ham-
in Hamilton, Fairfield.
Okay, well that explains it.
Yeah.
I got a friend that lives up towards there. His internet is always freaking out whenever we're
He lives in
trying to
Hamilton.
play Fallout.
It's normally not bad. It's everything is just completely down right now. Like it's normally not so bad.
Telling you.
Do you have a company that starts with an S? Shake your head. Blank once for yes, blank twice for no.
I don't have no idea.
Bro.
The wife pays that bill.
My wife pays.
Oh, fair. I can say that too. My wife handles all the bills here too. So fair enough. All right, gentlemen. So what would be kind of like what's a long time? I cannot talk today. Jesus Christ. What is a goal that you have, like a 5-year plan? What's something that you all want individually for the dWo podcast?
I can tell you what I have. I have 5 and 10-year plans, and that's assuming these guys want to go that long. But at this point, I see the magic that's here, and I want to go that long. And 5 years, I would love for us to be on some type of, whether it's an XM or whether it's some type of broadcasting in the future, where we can actually not necessarily be switching our careers or anything, but if we had the opportunity to make some money off of it, I think would be a neat deal. And then 10 years, man, I want to get to 1,000 episodes. You know what I mean? Not a lot of places can say they've done that. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm all about streaks, and I would really like to hit 1,000 episodes. I think that'd be fucking neat. After we hit 1,000 episodes, I might be like, well, shit, what do we do now?
No.
Let's hit 2,000.
Break Hogan's record.
Yeah.
Wait, that was different. Never mind.
What about you boys?
I'd like to, we've honestly, we've hit a lot of like goals in a short amount of time that I didn't think would be possible. I mean, for instance, we had a table as a vendor and whatnot at Squared Circle, and just the year previous, Eric and I were there as fans and seeing other podcasts there, and was like, man, I'd love that to be us. And in a year's time, we made it happen. So I mean, that really gives us motivation to what else is next. I mean, they have somebody we travel to see wrestling frequently, and to have somebody to foot that bill would be cool too. I mean, I know it's that's kind of a tall ask, but I think that'd be something cool that we're so regarded, or whatever you want to call it, that they want us at their show.
Yeah. I would love, like Cephas talked about earlier, Revolver's got some serious momentum, and I would love to at some point be the like official podcast of Revolver, whether that be on their Patreon or something of that caliber. I think would be really neat. I mean, you see all the talent that comes through there, all the people that are involved, and we love being a part of it, and we want to keep being a part of it. And I'd also like to get to the point where we can email or whatever TNA or AEW or WWE and be like, hey, can we have this person on our show? And they don't like laugh at us and stuff or not respond to our email. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've had it happen one time.
Really? I'm sorry, guys. We got Crander Q from Friends with Sports. No, Crander, no. He thinks he's trying to take over my show, but I told him you guys are already doing the hostile takeover, and he's like, hostile takeover? I'm the only one that can do that.
3 of us.
But yeah, man, just like Cephas said, the magic's there. We know it is, and like we talked about before, it's a grind, but man, it's worth it when it pays off. I mean, these guys both know the saying we say all the time. We love wrestling, and the best feeling ever is when wrestling loves us back.
Yeah.
Freaking Lily. Oh, God. Here he goes. You know, Crander, if you came on here earlier, and the man had technical difficulties too, so
I did.
You know,
I still technically am having technical difficulties.
no, you're good, bro. But you know, you would have paid attention. You know, you would have known that answer. Sorry, he's a douche to me. I can be a douche back. Chris Zach said he tried. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. He tried to take over Chris's and his friend Nick's their show's Card Subject to Change. I had them on the other day and the same thing. But gentlemen, this has been really fun. Yeah. So with that being said, we're at 52 minutes. But before we end, what's a piece of advice that you can give someone? It doesn't have to be, you know, podcasting or wrestling related. If they're just trying to chase after something that they want as their dream, what's some advice that you would give them to keep pushing on?
Consistency is key.
Yes.
Consistency is key, but also, and it's something that I feel like I don't know if you guys touched on it while I was having difficulties or not, but something that we wanted to touch on a little bit, as you might have seen, anyone that follows our page, we just posted that we're going on a 2-week hiatus for positive mental health. And I feel like that's something I thought about too when you asked what we want to do in the next 5 to 10 years. I just want to help some people realize that it's okay to talk about how the hell you feel. You know what I mean? It's important to talk about how you feel. It's important even when you're having a good time and you've been having a good couple of months. Maybe put on a sad song and cry. You know what I mean? I know some people look at that and they might be like, "Oh, that's crazy. Why would you put yourself in a negative feel?" If you don't have bad, how do you know what good is? You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to have a bad day just so you can appreciate what's ahead of you. So I don't know. Maybe if we can make a positive stance mental health wise, I feel like that'd be something that we could really hang our hats on.
Yeah. Okay. Cephas is no longer the mid Carter. He is the wise man, because those were some wise words. But either one of you two gentlemen got any advice or follow that up?
First, I just wanted to say, I just, wanted everybody to keep my wife in their thoughts and prayers. She's been having some breathing issues. Something about every time I walk in the room, it takes her breath away.
God damn it. You have me worried as fuck.
You piece of shit.
It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. I mean, basically what Cephas said is around what I was going to say. Be able to, consistency for sure. Because the minute you're like, I don't feel like doing it right now, don't stop when you're just like, I don't feel like doing it, but take planned breaks for yourself. If you're chasing a dream or chasing a job or chasing whatever, you can work hard. I mean, we've been working hard at this for almost 2 years now. And we're just now realizing, hey, we should probably, set some breaks for ourselves. And I feel like that's definitely really important. And same with what he said with the mental health stuff, man. We're all dads, we're constantly grinding and working and taking care of the kids and 100 million other things. So being able to, as Sifa said, put on a sad song and cry, or just have somebody that you can go and talk to, man. Because sometimes venting and just talking is the best medicine for that.
Yep. Having a good support system around you too is that, that's excuse me. These guys have been, my support system, things that bounce off when I, get pissy and need to vent. They're there to talk me through it, and they're not going, oh, fuck you. Why do you feel that way? They talk me through it, and, and they, so this is, having a good support system on top of, like they said, taking breaks. And sometimes you need to, things become routine and mundane, and, it just becomes you're just going with the flow. And sometimes, like they said, taking a break and stepping back and, give you that appreciation for something you may have taken for granted.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. I agree with everything you all said. Okay, I don't know how to end that. How about teared up there, guys? Thanks. But
hey man, don't feel bad. We made Al Snow cry when we had him on the show. So yeah. We're pretty good. We're pretty good at this.
That's easy though.
Uh-huh.
According to Mick in his memoirs, that's easy though.
Well, I thought we got him pretty good.
Yeah.
Right in the heart.
Well, folks, pro wrestling fans, this has been one heck of an episode. This is episode 12, I want to say 11, 12. What episode are we freaking on? Hang on.
11.
No, 12. I was right. Haha. So we are on. This is episode 12 of the Podcasters Appreciation Month. If you have not yet, I don't know why you haven't. Go check out the dWo. Gentlemen, go ahead and shout out all your social media platforms.
Eric? About to do this. All right. Be sure to check us out on all the socials at dWo_podcast, Facebook at the dWo podcast, TikTok at dWo_pod. Get that dad merch at Pro Wrestling Tees and T Public, or message us directly. We can ship it to you. Make sure to subscribe and like on the YouTube. We got a ton of awesome episodes on there. Not just with guests. There's our Wrestle Talk episodes are just us three, just bull crapping about the world of wrestling. And those are actually usually pretty fun because we don't really have, when we have a guest on, we don't really have an agenda anyway. We just kind of go with the flow. But when it's just the three of us, man, we go off on all kinds of tangents. It's so much fun. I cannot tell you how many people even if your friends, family, whatever, are not fans of wrestling, tell them to go subscribe to the dWo, because I have so many friends that could not give two farts about wrestling, but they love the show. They say it's entertaining, and that makes me feel good, man. So like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Joe, thank you so much, dude. This has been awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. No, not a problem at all. Gentlemen, hang on for a second after we end. I need to talk to you guys about something. But folks, with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to all the Joe Monroe, the Facebook page and the YouTube channel and all that jazz. And with that being said, you all have a great night. Stay safe, and always, always, always support the great sport of professional wrestling. We are out.
You've been listening to the Joe Monroe Show with Joe Monroe. Don't forget to like and subscribe.